Just remember, it was like probably one of my favorite moments that we went down there and me and Jarek were in the thing and we're like waiting for this guy. The time's up, and then Jarek just goes, he stands up, he goes, "Where the fuck are you, B-Man?"
Subscribe to the podcast, KFC Radio on YouTube.
Bang.
All right, let's do it. Ryan Long is back in the building. Too long of a break, in my opinion. We've been talking for a while about getting you back in here. And
You were one of our first guests, like, post-pandemic, right? I think it was, like, Rosebud.
We did the one on Zoom before.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
That was right.
Yeah.
That was right when you guys were losing all your money on GameStop.
Yeah.
Do you still have them?
And that was when you had the funniest line about your
We
brothers.
still have it, just so you know.
Yeah, we're still diamond hands, bro.
I got diamond hands on a lot of stuff that I don't even know how to access anymore.
Right, dude. Right now, you need diamond hands. Stock market's fucking
it's
getting
trash,
obliterated.
Yo, all right, so here's the deal. You're a smart guy, right? You seem like someone who, like, I don't know. You look, honestly, the few times I've walked away going, pretty smart dude. So I'm going to ask you a question. Why does anyone give a fuck?
Because all their money's disappearing?
But it's like, but you're not. But like,
dude, what is money? Really?
No.
I'm
right.
about it?
I'm not gonna back off on it. I'm right because like you don't have any intention of touching it.
How much? Okay, take amount. How much money you have now? Imagine you have 60% of that. Do you care?
But like, you're not gonna take it out tomorrow.
Well, but
so
you can't take it out.
The stock market is gonna bounce back.
Well,
based on what?
maybe.
Merlin?
Based on everything, it always comes back.
Well,
not everything.
too
Like,
big to
not
fail, baby. We're gonna bail everyone out.
If you have like fucking like Amazon stock, it'll bounce back. But if
Yeah.
you took some risks and shit, there are companies that go under or never recover.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't.
This is why I asked you guys. You're making points.
And yes, like the stock market always goes up over the course of like 30 fucking years. But if you were like, I need to get my money out like now, and it went down, you're fucked.
Dude, I remember my dad like having like a bad day like in the collapse, the one you caused. What year was that?
what he caused?
I was instrumental in the downfall of America a little bit. I wasn't because I was doing like the cube monkey work, but like my bosses kind of were because they were turning a blind eye to a lot of shit. And I remember one time talking to like a senior manager, and I was kind of like, because she said something like, oh well, you know, the reason this happened was because like last year we like fudged it or whatever, and I was kind of like, oh shit, like that was so like you guys did that, and she was like, she realized what she had said.
She's like, oh no, you guys did that.
Yeah. She very quickly was like, never mind. No, you don't understand. And I was like, you're right, I don't understand. But that sounds like someone who's culpable for this shit.
It also sounds like someone who's like in their own, like they think they're a little more important than they are.
And in the moment I was like, oh wow. And now I'm thinking back, that was probably like a 26-year-old like, you know, fake manager. Like, you didn't do shit.
And she's going home to her boyfriend like, I fucking ruined the world. I didn't ask for this power. He's like, baby, I'm sure you're.
It's totally fine, girl. Shut the fuck up.
But like with that class, my dad was like so pissed. I was like, "What is wrong with you today?" And I was young. I was too young to be asking my dad a question like that. Like I was like a sophomore in high school. And I was like, "What's wrong?"
Stop being such a bitch,
I was like,
Dad.
What's your deal today?
You've hit me more than normal today.
And he's like,
just lost all
well,
of our
John, my entire retirement fund is gone. What do you think about? And I was like, "Were you gonna retire tomorrow?" And he's like, my kid is so goddamn dumb. Just throwing away. But like, it's a fair question. Like, well, you're not. He's still not
by
retired.
By the time he
right
retires, it'll
most people don't have this calm sentiment though. They panic and sell.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't care about anything in the world, so that's why you're able to
But it's
do
just
this.
like-
I wish I was more like you.
Are you the type of guy that like loses your shoe on a night out and you go, ah, fuck it, I got one shoe tonight?
Bro, recently on a night out, I just traded shoes. I just gave a guy.
The weirdest shit in the world, man.
I just gave my guy my shoes.
That was so weird.
He's like, yo, I like those.
They
I was
were
like, you want
a
them?
gift that I got him. The only gift I've ever gotten, like one of my friends. I still don't even really know why I did it.
I think
like,
you got them and just didn't want them. I don't think you got them for me.
No. I remember because I bought them off StockX and everything. And it was like, I don't know, I was just being a little bitch in my feelings or whatever, and I was kind of like, yeah, this is for you, we've done such great work together. And then he gave them to some stranger.
Yeah. It was years later. It wasn't, they weren't like the new shoes. They'd been worn in a lot.
Was he staring at you while he did it?
And to be honest, they weren't very comfortable. That's why I gave them away. Like, they weren't comfortable sneakers.
And you got just like a pair of like shitty Jordan 11s in return, right?
I think so, yeah.
Alligator pointies.
I've never taken them out of my hockey bag. Like, because I was on a hockey trip, we were in Detroit.
Such a weird
I've just never taken them out of my hockey bag since. Yeah, they were like Jordan 11, like low tops. But it was a pair of Travis Scott's I gave away, and they literally dug into my toes. They were
probably just the wrong fucking size.
Painful to wear them.
That's amazing. Well, yeah, definitely if you have like Amazon or S&P 500. But if anyone had like risky ass gross shit, like all these people that are like online fucking I'm a trader now.
Yeah.
Like myself. Yeah. You just get, dude.
Well, did you
I'm just
see-
enjoying the ride down, man. I'm in it for the thrill of the loss.
Yeah, dude. I get it. Bro, I get push notifications for stocks from like different apps and different like fucking holdings like that. And it recently asked me, it's like, do you want to turn these off? Like,
you, like,
it was
never
like
fucking-
you should turn this off.
You're
dude.
never gonna make any money.
I
so.
never turned it on,
Well-
so it wasn't like a thing like I cared about. Because it is like when I like take stock of something, I know one of two things. One, I'm in it for the long haul, so I'm not gonna look on it. Like look daily, fucking no shot.
Yeah.
Or two, it's gonna be some weird ass crypto shit that I don't even know how to sell. So I'm in
Doesn't
on
even
that
matter.
forever.
Those are
Yeah.
tough. Yeah.
Like Safe Moon. I got a ton of Safe Moon. I don't know what it's at. I don't have a fucking.
That's at like 0.
I don't have a
think.
fucking clue. I don't know how to
went
get rid of
under.
it. If there's anything to even salvage, I got no idea how to get rid of it.
Dante was tweeting. He's like, he deleted all of his apps and all that shit. Like, he got all his stock market stuff off his phone for his mental health because he was one
Well,
of those
look,
checkers,
we're young. We have plenty of time to go. You need more money to just make more next week.
Yeah, but some things like just go down. Like, dude, my chick, she has like some fucking this company Hims, you know that company?
Yeah.
And, dude, it's literally done this for 2 years straight. And she's like, it's gonna turn around. It's like, no, it won't. Like he's gonna, like his 8. It was like fucking. It was like you're just like on the ship forever.
Yeah. At that point, you just gotta ride it all the way to the fucking. Like, I'd rather just go.
But
to
that's not
0
their
than
mentality.
Sell it at like 3.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean? Like, just
yeah,
ride
but
it.
people. Well, that's fair. If
Yeah,
you
you know,
go,
it's like, I'm
yeah.
just going
I'll
all the
hold
way
until
down.
it goes bankrupt.
Yeah.
I like
Out
that
of
shit in like
principle.
high school. Like I'd rather get a 0 on a test than a 17. 'Cause, like I at least tried on that one. Like no, I'll fucking be the guy on the Titanic just locking himself in the ship. Like, here we go, baby.
Stocks only go down, man. They only go down. That news about Odell Beckham was good with the Bitcoin. You saw that?
No.
So Odell Beckham, when he signed with the Rams,
Oh.
he signed a $750,000 deal, but he elected to take it in Bitcoin, which just means they give you the money and then you buy Bitcoin with it. I
Which
think.
doesn't make that's the same thing.
It's like a publicity stunt.
Yeah,
It's like
almost.
you're paying me in Bitcoin. No, you're not. You're
I
paying
take
me
my money in
American dollars,
houses.
and
Like,
yeah.
yeah, I guess.
But but he got taxed like American dollars at the $750,000 rate, like at that amount. And it dropped down to like 400,000, and the taxes on it were like 350. So he got paid $37,500 for this year to play football.
that can't be true.
I mean, I don't know.
Really?
But so Darren Ravel tweeted that, and he's fucking.
If he
jerking
sells, if he
off.
didn't sell,
Right,
it doesn't
but
matter.
also what you don't know. So Darren Ravel was tweeting because he doesn't like crypto and he thinks it's dangerous for all these people to be talking about it and for young people to be investing in it. And he's coming on himself because this guy only made $37,000.
Dork.
And then Joe Pompliano, who's like a guy who I tweet with, he was like Mr.
Pomp, yeah.
fucking, he's Mr. Bitcoin. He also was like, by the way, what's the, not Venmo, but the other one, Cash App is paying him like a 7-figure deal to like do their crypto and shit.
Right,
So,
right.
my salary went down, but I made $2 million off my sponsorship deal. But it is like technically to play American NFL football this year, Odell Beckham made $37,500.
Pretty good deal.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, that is. But
it is weird that.
But the Rams still paid $750,000. They, Odell just put it in a shitty.
Yeah,
stock,
but again,
basically.
like you're saying this. That's only if he sells his Bitcoin right now.
Yes, and that's what a lot of people were saying. Is like nobody gets Bitcoin for right now. A lot of it's like waiting for the future. So yeah, that. Could
And even if he
easily
does
turn
sell, I
around.
mean, I think you can put those losses against other shit as well.
Something like that. I don't know. People, it's a tax write-off. It's a loss. I'm like, well, I don't know what that means.
Neither do
I
I.
don't really get what that means.
I found out that you actually kind of can do that.
Yeah, like people.
Well, I
get
was trying to write out
caught
my
up in
losses.
writing down losses that they almost convince themselves losing money's good. They're like, yes, I can write it off as a tax thing now. Like, what the fuck? Don't you just have it go up?
Yeah, I thought, well, you can, but you can only write off a bit of a year, but you can carry them over for a bunch of years. So I get to sort of my losses. I can spread them out of.
This is the shit as like a comic and like a self-employed guy. You gotta like know all this shit.
Dude, I lost
right?
80 grand on one trade. Not kidding.
The good news though.
90 grand. It goes up every time. Danny Volchuk gave me this big trade, and then he was like, it was this SPAC muds, and it was supposed to buy Topps baseball cards because he was getting real into baseball cards. He was going like meeting guys in like Long Island to buy some like tennis rookie card, like weird female girls tennis. Like he was like
This
way.
for Capriati, bro. It's gonna go to the moon.
He was deep in the game, and then he was, they were trying to SPAC muds or Tops, which is like, they were trying to go public through a fucking, SPAC deal, right?
I don't know. What
Yeah, I
that
have
means.
no idea what you're talking
Basically, it means like you don't IPO show, everyone puts money into this company, and then the company buys the company.
Okay.
Whatever. So they were like buying. Basically, the company we are investing in was going to be Topps baseball card once they bought them, right? And he was like every day being like, "This is it." You know what I mean? This is the one.
This is the one. We're retiring off this shit.
Well, and then I was going deep. I'm just like getting his text, and then I go, all right, another 10 grand. I just kept fucking re-upping because he was so confident.
Because that's the thing. Everybody knows a guy or
And
somebody
then
who
Topps
convinces you.
lost their license to sell cards.
I think it was Topps. Wasn't Topps the one that printed the Braves card? Horrendously wrong. They said like the Braves won the 2020 World Series instead of the 2021. The errors on their line of cards were like staggering. But
and so obviously it went down right away.
Yeah, like it just tanked.
It tanked completely back to zero.
Yeah.
Well, like it tanked back to what the money that was in this bank account.
Right,
it was worth exclusive. The only thing it was worth was the money. Yeah. It was a fucking. It was my D-Day.
But like almost like one of those.
My D-Day for the bad. Yeah, for the other guys.
I was getting D-Day. I was getting. I was the beaches. They were storming me. I'm the beach.
It was like we've talked about it a lot. Where like when you have podcasts,
using the references wrong, you're like on the wrong team. You're like, yeah, dude, it was my Holocaust, and then we got defeated. You go, wait, what?
Hang on a second.
But we talk about like having a podcast or being a comic, where like it almost becomes profitable to have bad things happen to you.
Yeah.
Like that, like if that happened to me, if I
Great
lost
story.
80 grand, if I lost
Oh my God.
that's next level write off. Like I'll write that off on stage. Yeah,
Dude, you just lost fucking $2,000. You know how much I made with that story?
He bought this. He invested in this apartment complex outside of Atlanta, Georgia.
Noonan County.
He'll tell you it's up.
You're trying to be a slumlord?
45 minutes from
Dude,
the
I'm
airport.
becoming a slumlord for content. Yeah, dude. So I got 45 minutes outside the highway in Atlanta, right? Noonan, Georgia. Great spot. Great blue collar.
Outside of a highway? I thought it was the
40
airport.
minutes outside of the city, right off the highway. So
okay,
it's easy access. It's great for like FedEx workers, UPS workers, people who are working at the airport.
He's reading me the sales pitch, eh? This is what they told you.
And then I got another one.
And the best part is it's a timeshare. He only wants to own it 1 out of every 6.
Got one in Rock Hill, North Carolina. It's like the Charlotte metro area, but not North Carolina taxes, South Carolina taxes. The whole fucking Carolina Panther team is gonna move there. Gonna rock it up, man.
We saw on the news one day that there was like a tornado that ripped through outside of Atlanta, and I was like,
Georgia?
Noonan is gonna be buried, and John's probably gonna be like, yes, now I can tell his story that my fucking apartment complex got eradicated by Mother Nature.
Noonan, Georgia has not known peace since I invested there. It has been a consistent wave of unfortunate events.
You're the cell
focused
signal.
solely on Noonan, Georgia.
Yeah. People are fucking. They see you walking through their neighborhood with a realtor. You go, we gotta get out of here.
Grim Reaper has arrived.
Bro, it has been
not knowing
tornadoes, floods, fucking like shootings. It's been chaos in Noonan since the day I cut a check.
You know what I wanted to do? I always like the idea of kind of owning a place where like I can have a studio and then a couple of tenants or whatever. And I remember I read that Arnold Schwarzenegger, that's how he made his like money when he was just a strongman. He was like had all these like shady tenants or whatever. But then I was talking to people and people were like, well, yeah, those shady tenants pay Arnold. When the fucking literal strongest man in the world shows up for rent. It's a little different than you showing up for the rent.
Yeah, they're just like, no, I'm not paying. What do you mean? I'm just not giving you your money.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, you paid Arnold. Legitimately Mr. Universe at this point.
So you filmed your special at the stand.
Dude, I just finished Specialist.
Finished it up. That's got to be what is that a relief or is it like now you're like I can't decide whether I'd be like relieved that I'm done with it or now it's like now I got to put it out and it either sinks or swims and like there's nothing you can do.
No, I've been through this process before,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm like so happy to just have that on my mind because You know, I just had too many things. Like that was, especially when by the end of a project that you're working on for a long time, like especially I was editing and everything, there's so much like cachet, like, you know what I mean? Like I like stored in your head that I was like fucking becoming really loopy with all the other, like I was already juggling lots of things and just having all that information in my head. I felt like I'm like, you know, leaving my house without everything. You want to know this is how crazy fucking loopy I was getting. I'm already pretty loopy. The other day, I was at the Comedy Cellar, and then there's a Brooklyn comedy club in Brooklyn, and there's one in Manhattan. So I was supposed to go to the Brooklyn Comedy Club, and I got in a cab, and the guy was like, "Hey, where are you?" or whatever. And then I got outside of the club, and I go, "Fuck, I went to the wrong club." So I'm at the wrong club in Manhattan. I tell the Uber driver, I'm like, "Can you wait? Can you take me to the other one?" And I'm trying to type it in, and it won't work. He's like, "I gotta go." So he just kicks me out. I call the guy, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm at the wrong club. I'll have to go second or whatever because I was supposed to go at the beginning, right?" And then I go, "Okay." And then I called another Uber. And then as I called the Uber, I walked up to the bar and I was like, "Oh, fuck, I guess they changed this." And then I finally saw someone walk in. I go, "Oh, no, I was at the right one the whole time." So I walk in and I see the guy who I just texted. He's like, "Why did you text me 30 seconds ago saying that you're not here?" And so I'm standing outside the place being like, I'm at the wrong building. And as we're arguing, my other Uber calls me like, "Hey, I'm here to take you to
Brooklyn."
No, they're here to take me to the same location. And everyone's like, "So what are you talking?" Like, what? And then I'm just go, "You know what? I just don't want to talk about it anymore."
Yeah, just fuck it. It's done. It's over. Goodbye.
And I was doing stuff like that right and left.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to have
Get
some
it out of your brain and be done with
space.
it. Yeah. Leaving your keys in the refrigerator and shit like
that's
that.
what I was skiing this weekend, and I think skiing I've decided has too many pockets.
Two dudes?
So too many pockets associated with it. Because I was constantly in a state of panic. Where's this? Where's that? Where's that? Because it's not your 4 pockets.
You gotta go.
And
What?
It's too much.
What else do you have? What do
you have like
on
gloves, and you have like a face mask,
warmers,
and goggles,
and
and you just end up having too much stuff, and you drive back to Manhattan without your apartment keys.
Did this trip?
Yeah.
I feel like you've done that before.
I've done it before. I've done
Yeah,
it. I
you
stayed
came to
at your
my apartment, right?
Yeah. I had a pair here, so I
Okay.
left a pair at my desk here.
Jesus.
But I walked home last night. Was so
I think
tired.
this reminded me of something I think you guys are funny that I just heard on the way here. So one of the guys that like works for me, he lives in Finland, and in Finland they're like super locked down, but like not the bars necessarily, but all gyms are locked down. But the only way you can work out is if you're a professional athlete. And then everyone figured out that you can go on the internet and sign up for a baseball license that says you're a professional baseball player. It's only 2 hours.
Here, man, I got the
So
paperwork.
he said all the gyms are just fucking, you're only allowed 3 hours. So it's just all packed with like fat guys saying they're professional athletes.
Everyone gets a fucking baseball player card and a blue check mark
Isn't
on
that
Twitter.
crazy? Yeah.
Member of the Houston Astros organization.
He said it's $5. You just sign up and it says you're a professional athlete. You just have to be registered. And also it's like cool being registered as a
I was gonna
professional
say
athlete.
that's fucking great.
It's
I
worth
might
it.
do that right now.
Is that
just for
just
fun.
in Finland, or is
I
that
think
work
it's a
here?
Finland.
Yeah, I'm gonna become a Finnish professional baseball player. Fuck it.
I know a lot of countries that happens to with like when they get the Olympics, because every home country hosting the Olympics gets every sport. You're automatically allowed to be in.
Right.
But then they have to change the rules for what, like China's hosting this year. To be a fucking professional hockey player, they were like, it was like if you're great, like Brandon Yip, who plays for the, I don't know who he plays for, the Red Wings now. He used to play for the Panthers, but like he was going to be the captain of Team China, and I think his great grandparents were from China or something like that.
So he's like American, but he has some
Yeah,
roots
like
there.
they changed for all the blood. But I remember that happened with baseball in Greece, where it was like if your great grandfather was from Greece,
You can
be on
play
the
on
Greek
our
national
national
team because
team.
no one here plays fucking baseball.
So you got a bunch of like just schlubs out there
Yeah,
playing Olympic baseball.
I remember growing up,
I think
that
it-
used to be always a thing with Brett Hull, where it was like he's Canadian American, and it was like, where's he gonna play for?
Yeah, he had the dual citizenship. That was so weird. He did some weird shit.
We learned he likes to party, right? After he was the guy who was out there.
Oh, I don't think we learned. We
knew.
We
We saw it.
knew.
I saw
Brett
it.
liked to chuck him back.
You see this Neil Young Joe Rogan shit,
yeah.
bro? Neil Young just throwing up a fucking it's either you or me, and they're like it's him.
Yeah, that's
See
a
you
guy,
later, Neil.
That's the funniest. Like the intern coming in and being like, "It's the CEO or me."
And I'm sure he meant, he just wants to like draw attention to it. I don't think he thinks they're gonna pick him, but
No.
but
No,
all that
Neil
being
Young's been
said,
doing. So Neil Young's one of those guys that like he he apparently, like everyone that's seen him recently, like I have friends, he says he'll play the hits for like half an hour, and then he plays like 3 hours of like, you know, songs about why global warming's the problem that are like real on the nose too. Like not even like supposed to be good songs. Like,
he's just reading a manifesto.
In sing-song voice.
He'll occasionally take a break to play the harmonica.
I mean, that even if you're not like expecting to win that, you know, that ultimatum, you can't be throwing out ultimatums where you get blown out of the fucking.
Who do you think?
He doesn't even have a deal there. Like, he's not even one of the people that has a deal there. He's like,
it's just like my music.
Dude,
it's just like you can't be on Spotify.
Didn't he recently sell all his music too? Like I don't think it's his. Do you know how like all of the major
Well, then he
artists
can't
just
even
sold
do
their
this.
music?
Sold their catalog,
Like Bowie just sold his. Springsteen just sold his.
Well, then
I thought Neil Young was in the mix with that too.
well,
I
if
could
that's
be
the
wrong.
case, you're not able to like you're not in
take
control of it anymore.
Take it off Spotify. It's like, no, dude, I
not
own your
yours.
shit. No, keep playing it.
No.
Who do you think is an artist? Probably went past their prime, but who do you think an artist that would give Spotify pause?
I was trying
Drake?
to.
You think Drake?
I don't know.
But
though,
I almost
because-
think it has to be more of a historically significant one because, like, their music will like I don't know, maybe in 50 years Rogan's just not doing a podcast anymore. But like Bowie's music is still going to be listened to.
Yeah, but you're still gonna get like people were saying that was the argument was the longevity. If Rogan was like 50 more years, Rogan is not 50, but like 30 more years.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot. Like it's still a lot to go. If he
But
was
I think
like,
there is
on the
a
verge
level
of
where-
retiring or something.
I don't think there's any level where they would do it. But I think there's a level where like, there's a conversation around.
I mean, they like what they were like. Hey, let's like blow up this $200 million because like.
Well, that's the
one
other thing.
guy-
They just invested in
Yeah.
all of it. They can't do it. But for just for the hypothetical, like what artists would they be like? At the very least, would they be like, fuck? Yeah, I mean, I guess it's the Taylors.
I know what you
and the
mean.
Drake
Like
and-
Rolling Stones or something is like
Yeah.
kind of what you're saying.
right.
Is it that though, or is it something more modern? Like, is it?
I think it's
I mean,
someone-
Taylor Swift, you're gonna
Well,
get this
Drake's
double
their big-
dip right now.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
You get,
I
the,
think
you get the Scooter Braun ones, and you get her new shit, so it's like 2 times Taylor.
That's true. Taylor would be a conversation. 'Cause
And also, that would be like you get the backlash of like
I think
taking Taylor.
And I think
off.
Taylor's proven that like she's like I'm not gonna be here for fucking 5 more years. Like
Yeah.
I've been here for 20. I'm gonna be a songwriter my whole life. I'll be here for another 40 or 50.
Right. But
Taylor's
I mean,
probably
Rogan.
conversation.
I don't know. I don't know if it was. Let me see if there's. I had just Googled this and it said that Rogan has 200 million monthly listeners. That's.
I was laughing at the fact.
Yeah. What is that? Well, yeah. We'll find
I was,
out
I was like, let me Google this. And
pictures.
see. Monthly. I like them still.
It's like hot girl.
Boobs. I want to see boobs. Monthly listeners.
That's your search history. Boobs. Nice butts.
I remember the first time. I was like my we had like access to my family, my buddy's family computer, and I think he
Spank
Googled
City?
wet tits.
Wet
I think he did wet tits.
Dude, we used to do girls with a Z. GIRLZ.
I'll tell you, I do remember that one time when I was right in the early days when we first got a printer. I remember I found like a photo like that and then printed it off and I had it folded up. And then one time I got it wet, so it was like half the titties were like wetted out, but I still had it like folded up beside my bed table. I go, oh, hello, my old friend.
Again, yeah, we meet again. Wet titties. This says on a quick Google search, it says Taylor has 47 million, and the same sort of quick Google search was
What, Neil
Rogan
Young?
200 million.
Oh, how much does Neil Young do a month? Can't you just see on Spotify how many monthly listeners?
on for music you can, and he was 6 million. So,
6 million.
So if there's any truth to that, it's like, yeah, bro, I'm like 30 times your value. But it's also like, even, I don't know, I feel like Rogan is just like, he said some shit that's wrong. Like, fucking everybody else has been wrong.
Yeah.
At times, you know what I mean? He ultimately, at the end of the day, if he was like a scientist, a doctor giving wrong shit, it'd be a different conversation. But at the end of the day, he's been like, don't listen to me. I'm just like a pothead, meathead podcaster. He's also like, if he has been wrong, he's owned up to it in the past. It's like, I don't know, he's got something wrong on a podcast. That's crazy to be like, I can't be on the same platform as this guy. That's nuts to me.
It's gotta be kind of cool though. Like imagine being so famous Neil Young hates you. You don't.
For no fucking, really no reason.
Like how famous am I? Neil Young
I don't want to be like
hates my
too.
guts.
I mean, sometimes you could just always be like this cynical take or whatever, but if also is like a 100% like a fucking Neil Young publicity stunt.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
how much
yeah, yeah.
anyone would
We're
do.
talking about Neil Young now.
But the same thing, Howard Stern. It's like it's kind of interesting that like the only way a lot of these people can get press is in the context of Joe Rogan's name.
throw shots, throw rocks at the throne. Yeah, I mean he puts people on and then puts people on like just by hating him. You know what I mean? Like he's good about like promoting other people, but also if you want to get some,
if anything, if Neil Young like disagrees, he should go on
the
show.
Yeah.
That's like the fucking. It's this. Like, why wouldn't you? If Neil Young's like, oh, here's why he's wrong and this is wrong and this is why this doctor's wrong. It's like, okay, go fucking debate.
Talk
like,
about it
it's
and
not,
prove it.
Yeah, it's not the old days where it's like now you'd have to go get this show to do it. Like you could literally call him on Zoom and hash this out, and a million people would watch it.
Right. Well, I think the main thing recently,
true.
the main thing recently was he said something like the vaccine is worse for your heart than COVID, and there was a doctor on who was like, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
And he showed him like why it's not. And then Rogan had an article from like the UK from another doctor that said it was. So at least he had like some.
And it probably depends
reason.
on your fucking age or whatever and all that stuff.
There's a
Listen,
million-
I don't believe in doctors, vaccine, COVID, or Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
I think
like,
all of them are a hoax.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I think podcasting's a myth.
none of this shit is real.
Plugged into anything.
This is just fucking milk cartons with strings at this point. There's like 3 people listening to this. Nobody knows. Everybody has been wrong about all of this shit all along. It's like nobody's worse than the fucking others. It's just crazy to me that like people have just vilified the fuck out of that guy who's just like.
I'll take it more from old guys because, like, you know, if you are fucking 80 and like, you know, like. COVID is a way bigger threat to you.
Yeah, like,
so
this
I'm
might
a
fucking
little
kill me.
more sympathetic when people are like really old and they're like
Right.
super safe.
Yeah, Rogan's like, this shit's not a big deal. It's like, I might fucking die if I get this.
Yeah, if you're a peak athlete. Yeah, if you're 80 or whatever. But
yeah.
like, again, I think Neil Young's been like, this is the only way a lot of these people, like Howard Stern, when I actually did this when I heard this, because Howard Stern was like one of my favorites forever, right?
Do you still listen to him?
No, I don't listen to like things like, I mean,
it's crazy when he's still got like $100 million a year deal, and I'm like,
yeah.
still?
Well, he's the flagship, like
I
holding
know,
the glue
but
together.
at some point, that's like, he's not the same guy. The listenership has to be down.
Well, he used to be
like.
This is the thing, like with Howard Stern, like he was once the guy that was like, oh, fucking that guy has a wacky opinion. Like, oh, let's have him on and like gas him up to like get him to say wild shit.
Yeah.
Which is to some degree what like a lot of big podcasters do. But now he's the
that's-
guy that's like, oh, this guy has like a wild opinion. Like we need to fucking stop this
Yes.
guy.
Yeah,
right.
he did such a
Like he used to have like
180.
fucking people on the KKK on and be
Yeah.
like, what's the problem with Jews? Like, because he knew it was like entertaining, right?
Yeah,
But now he's like,
yeah.
well,
But
entertaining comes second to my role as a moderator,
a judge
discussion
on
or whatever,
fucking
yeah.
like Fox too. You know what I mean? He does like
But
a talent show and he's making bank off it now.
There's
I get
that,
it.
too.
You know, like you get older, you make more money, you have a lot more to lose, and your perspective, I hope, changes. I hope you're not the same asshole when you were 22 and you're
But you
fucking
should
making porn stars
play a
come on
different
your
game.
Yeah, but to just be like the total opposite of like.
But
now
anyway, so I Googled his name. Like, no, you could just type a word in, like titties, and then you press news, and you're like, when titties are in the news again, they're still nice. Top article, still pretty sick.
breaking news, titties.
But if you Google his name and press news, all 4 of his last things that were like relevant were all the tennis player dude. Is an asshole. Fucking Meatloaf's a fucking idiot for not getting vaccinated. Joe Rogan's so he hasn't been in the news for 6 months except for like this other guy's a fucking idiot because of vaccine stuff.
I mean, that's the name
it's
of the
kind of
fucking
like
game at
so
this point, I
I
guess.
think he's still wired that old-fashioned way too, where that's good. He's like, no press is bad press.
Right,
Like
yeah,
you just
heat
want
is
to.
good. Yeah,
all you
yeah.
want is your name being in the news. So the only time he gets in the news is that. So then all of a sudden it's like, oh, another like anti-vax guy died, and he was like, oh, here we go. I can get my clicks again.
Yeah.
I mean,
But he doesn't
I get
realize
that, but
that
it's
it's-
also just like at that. I mean, after so many years of doing like being real, I just feel like you're like above that if you're Howard Stern. But I guess
Dude,
who fucking cares?
Who
You're
can
above-
stay like relevant into their 75
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right. Because at some point it's just like I don't care about anything you have to say. You're a fucking old asshole.
No,
Like,
I
just
think,
shut up.
and he's
But I
good at
guess-
interviews. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he could have very easily turned into, you know what, I'm gonna do like a once a week thing, like I don't know, to some degree, like leave with grace. Whereas like, because it really is, you're 75 years old and being like, no, all of the new generation is all wrong,
Yeah.
and like
Right.
it's a straight up like, no, I'm not. The kids are wrong.
Yes, that he's totally become that meme. But
Yeah.
also, like,
It's the rappers are my favorites, like the 50-year-old rappers. They're like rappers these days, blah blah. Like they're the rock and roll used to be good, but for rap.
Yeah. Well, what's weird about rap is it's so new that this is the first time we're seeing old
Which is why I like it
rappers.
the best. That's exactly what
Yeah,
it is.
you know, like we never anybody who was really good who would have been old got fucking murdered.
Yeah,
so now is the
exactly.
first time we're getting to see like Jay-Z and Dre and Eminem and these guys be like 50 and 60. Like at some point, like a rapper's gonna break a hip and be in like a nursing home, you know? And it's like, man, this guy used to be firing guns and fucking bitches, and now, you know, he got gout or some shit.
Well, that's what they said about rap. They go, rapper, you know, when we were younger, people used to play instruments. And then the rappers now go, when we were kids, the rappers rapped faster.
Yeah.
No,
We didn't
you
use
become
auto-tune.
old.
We
Yes.
use our own voices.
Yeah.
No, but you.
The new guys are,
Doesn't matter.
the new guys.
But that's why I love the rap situation is funny because no matter what, so we now know that like even rap, you become the old man like yelling about the previous
Everything
generation.
you do.
But inherently, what they talked about will always be edgy and cool and shit. You know what I mean? Like forever, like they're talking about murder and drugs and pussy and shit. That doesn't like go out of style, if you will.
Right.
It might not be popular, but like, so I just feel like the new age music was always like a little more edgy and we're a little like tougher.
Okay, I'll back you up.
But those
You think,
rappers,
remember, like think about fucking what 80s, or let's say what 70s music was. That wasn't more edgy than like 80s pop bands. And then it kind of got like, you know, let's say 90s alternative is where it went next. And then you had a lot of like kind of hard rock bands in that
It
sort of
feels like it
Nirvana's
kind of
there.
always gets-
No, I'm saying did the Nirvana, was it harder than, and I'm in too deep and I'm trying. I'm saying that
Yeah.
it goes back and forth.
I guess it ebbs and flows.
Well, because
right.
culture's
But-
always like a
but don't you-
reaction to what happened before.
But I feel like with rap being always like, because there hasn't been a genre that has bluntly been just about pussy and drugs and violence and murder and shit. You know what I mean?
80s hair metal was about pussy, and metal was always about fucking like, I slit her fucking throat and I piss in the corpse yet.
Dude, I can't believe. Do you listen to metal?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
can't
was like
even
way more of like a
imagine.
punk kind of guy,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I like
yeah.
the metal. Like
Metal's
you know.
fucking crazy to me. To pick up a new like CD back in the day and just be like,
Yeah, just like trying to
Okay.
pick up a chick. Like, you want my demo?
yeah, here's my mixtape. So fucking weird, man. What was the last video I was texting you about it where you were just going right up to the fucking cops being like, so I mean, his last, what was, you were like, are the guns loaded? Do you know how to do this? Like, are you trained? It was just unreal the way you went up there with reckless fucking abandon.
It was old school bugging people.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just the
true
fucking,
man on the street shit. Like, I'm just
That
gonna
was
be
the-
an
that-
ignorant asshole, and it's gonna be funny.
That's my
Loved
what
it.
was the thing I was texting you with the he goes the Rappaport video where the guy was saying Rappaport. He was like, oh, you know, real music.
so
it was
good.
old school MD or learn the game or whatever.
He
right?
parodied Mike Rappaport talking about like he's like, "Yo, what up, Duke? Listen, when back in my day, like Nas was the illest," and blah, blah, blah. And it was
It's
just
all
like
the stuff
so
he says, right?
perfect.
It's his battle rap dude. I think he's from Toronto, my buddy said. But anyways, it was like, that's my man on the street. That's
Yeah.
the old
That's
school
your
where you
version of
literally
it.
find a thing and just do it like 12 times.
Yeah, yeah.
I just kept asking
But
cops
there-
questions. And with this guy, you ever doing those prank? That used to be the old prank call style, right? Where you would call people and be like, one we used to do is you would call like a fucking restaurant and be like, hey, do you guys have peas? Yeah. Do you guys have drinks? Yeah. Do you guys have hamburgers? Yeah. Do you have cheese? And you go, can I get this guy to 25 things in a row, right? Or like, so a lot of people used to do that thing, and it was like, I don't know, that's like such an old school like fucking Tom Green-esque.
I
kind of
missed
style.
it,
We
man.
had someone do it to us recently.
we got
someone
pranked. We got
here.
You got
prank
prank
phone
call?
call. We
Dude,
did.
Someone fucking, this girl Brianna Chicken Fry who works here. She prank called us. Where it looked like we called each other.
It's like an app where you
So-
can put in two different numbers and they call each other.
Yo, babe. Yeah. What up? Hello? Yo. What's up? What's up? What's going on? Nothing. What's going on? You just called me. I called you? No, you called me. No, bro. You called me. Bro, I'm sitting here watching fucking Geostorm. My phone vibrated on my couch. I picked it up. I was in the middle of texting, and your thing popped down. Said Vice is calling me.
So I was watching a movie. I didn't have my phone in my hand. Starts ringing Kevin. So I get the phone. I'm like, yo, what's up? And he's like, what's up?
I'm
He called
like,
me.
what's up, man?
And like we went back and forth. We sounded like such douchebags.
It's like, what's up, bro?
It's like,
what's up, dude?
It's like, what
I was
you talking about, bro?
What do you mean, bro? You call me.
That's
He's like,
fucking
no,
great.
dude, no, bro. I was like, bro, no, dude. It was like, oh, we are so fucking stupid.
It was like, it was so embarrassing.
What a good prank.
But people were like, how did you guys not figure it out? I was like, I don't
People
know.
were like that?
Yeah, I was like, because this is not
How
a
was
thing
you?
that happens.
Yeah,
I would be like, oh, wait a minute. I think someone's put our numbers into an app and called each other.
Which,
I don't know.
but we both thought like maybe it did happen, and we were both just kind of letting it go.
Yeah,
Like,
what's lucky is that I like accidentally, like, I think I hit the hang up button or whatever, and then I called him back and we had a conversation that like could not have been public. But so had it not got cut
lucky.
off, I would have kept going, and that would have not.
You're like-
When we started talking business and money,
You're like,
numbers,
you know,
and
we hit like
You know,
3 separate topics. That
Those
the
age of
world
consent
can't
laws.
hear.
I got a bit of a.
So dude, she was 16.
You
When she
lied.
told me she was 18.
The guy comes in, you lied.
But
Yeah, I could just
a
picture
good old-fashioned
Brianna
prank call.
listening
though.
to that conversation because we also didn't know that we were getting pranked. Like so, he called me right back right away, and we started having this conversation. And then like after that conversation ends, we get the tweet like
She posted a video of it.
Haha, it was a prank, and she posted the video.
Oh my
and
God.
we were like,
Yeah, I was like,
we were like,
"Whoa, buddy."
holy fucking shit!
Yeah,
dude."
we dodged off.
So I could just picture her face while she's like, should I hang up? Like,
And then I fucking murdered him with my bare hands. Like,
Now let's do
That
our
would've
daily
been good.
Holocaust talk. Did it happen?
that's what we should somehow prank her back and do that kind of shit. And that's when I
Jeez.
raped her.
They used to do the Howard Stern. That's a perfect example. They used to do the fucking best prank calls.
calls,
They used
yeah.
to do one like they used to call this swap shop, and you go Google it or YouTube it, where you just go like 10 hours of Tradio, Richard and Sal, and they would call this like this swap shop where people called to be like, hey, I'm selling a lawnmower or whatever, and they'd be like, hey, I'm selling some Auschwitz gold teeth and all these wild things, right? But then they started getting real crazy where there was a guy that would call in and they would clip his voice and call in to make him sound like he was saying weird things. And like, oh, you know, he was being crazy. And then he would call in and go, hey, just so you know, like that guy who called in wasn't me. Then they would clip that
and use that,
call-
yeah.
and they were just wreaking havoc on this line.
Dude, there was something pure about fucking prank calling. That
I
was back
still
when there
listen to
wasn't
them.
like
you
enter.
still do?
Oh, I still like, that's one of the main things that I do if let's say on a random night, like I fucking have a couple drinks by myself. That's the
Full of
first
prank calls.
100%. And I'm like, catch myself like like I come home after a show or whatever and I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
still kind of I still can have a couple more in me. And I just sit there till 5 a.m. watching fucking old school prank calls. Some of the
'cause there was
simplest
no-
ones are the best too.
Yeah, and it was like back then it wasn't like you had every streaming service and the internet at your fingertips. It was just like, I'm gonna put on like a Jerky Boys album or whatever the fuck you did,
Jerky
you
Boys
know?
were so good. I remember
So
just like
good.
the guy he kept prank calling people, but he was like asking about buying someone's weights or whatever, but he was working out at the time. So he's like, hold on, just 1 second, I gotta do a second. Like, just the idea of calling
So
someone to like organize something,
stupid.
but you can't take a break from lifting.
Dude, my favorite one before Jackass when they were CKY, when they were Camp Kill Yourself, he called up a electric fence company and asked them. He's like, I own a daycare, and what I need 30 of these things to put on the kids, and the conversation goes on long enough, and then the girl on the other side she says at the end, she's like, how many people are listening to this on speakerphone? And she's like, I want to thank you, like you made my day better. They probably loved it. They're probably like, I've been cold calling all fucking day.
Yeah.
Now it's fun.
Sure, the wrestling
but
one,
the
that's
way
probably the
he
best
was
of
like,
all time.
you know, did they these burns on their neck? And he's like, yeah, probably. And he was like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do then. I mean, I got these kids. It was 5 minutes of like the funniest things I've ever. At that point, I remember being like, this is the pinnacle of comedy.
I think
I've never heard anything funnier than this.
I was like that with like at the elementary school table listening on like a tape player.
Yep.
You kicked my dog. And
Yes.
I was like,
Yes.
nothing.
Yes.
Will
Kerpal?
Yeah.
Never will be funny.
No, dude, we used to do it with
Legend.
my friend.
Kerpal's a legend.
My friend would just call, like, he could do it so well and he was so funny, but he would only call his grandma. And like we just put this woman through hell, like absolute fucking hell. Like have her running up and down stairs, like it's really lucky we never
Running up and down
Just
stairs.
being like, did you hear
that old
I am
woman.
downstairs in your basement. And
No.
she'd be like, where is he? Where is he? And then
I mean, that's some sociopathic shit. You
Dude,
sick son of a bitch.
We'd have like a whole hockey team, and we'd be like in the fucking like sleepover camps and stuff like that. We'd all be packed into a room, just fucking dying as this kid just puts his like legitimate torture from an old woman who barely understands how a phone works. You know what I mean? like she was.
You're a bad person. You're a bad person.
I wasn't doing it. He was.
You were an accomplice.
I would be like, hey, go to grandma, but I wasn't doing it, dude.
I mean, you dabble, like you said you were kind of doing like jackass stuff.
I've been
shit
doing
in
this.
Canada,
Yeah,
right?
I was
So,
doing
like,
that
that's
stuff
like
from
your-
I was 13.
yeah.
But even some of them, I look back, it was like we weren't even. At first, we weren't filming it, and then we're like, we
Just doing
should
it for
film
sick kicks.
But
Yeah.
the thing you just remembered, make me remember. There's this guy Jarek, who's like my friend when I was growing up. These girls that we were like sort of dating. You remember this program Sub 7? There was this whole thing where you could like hack someone's computer and then put stuff up, and we had this whole thing where we were these guys from other schools fighting, and all of us would be one of us like talking to them and one of us doing it, and then we were never seen at the same time, so we had to bring in a third guy so we could both be there. And then we organized a fight at our school that because these guys were fucking with our girls, that me and Jarek were gonna go down to the baseball diamond where everyone fought to meet these guys, and everyone was like gathered around like fucking 50 people, how the fights were, knowing me and Jarek were going to fight like ourselves. And the guy's name was P-Man on the thing, and I just remember it was like probably one of my favorite moments that we went down there and me and Jarek were in the thing and we're like waiting for this guy, the time's up, and then Jarek just goes, he stands up, he goes, where the fuck are you, P-Man? And literally the minute we fucking got away, we ran into the bushes and go, bah! We like, I know these pussies wouldn't show, and it was us the whole time. It was like fucking insane.
That's awesome.
That is some next level
Back in the day when you had
orchestrating.
nothing to do,
Yeah,
came up with the best shit.
How old were you when you did that?
Probably like grade 10.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably like a precursor to how you know you were gonna be a fucking entertainer of some sort.
We used to do all
because
that
shit is next level.
Yeah, we used to, like with the band, we used to just go on tour and just do like wild shit, like just stuff that probably good that there wasn't like an internet to put it up on. Like, I remember we would like we played at this high school once, like 2 hours away, and we just went and we broke into all the teachers' things and rearranged all the stuff. And we were like, this video was like so funny to watch what we were doing, but like afterwards, like, yeah, a good thing we didn't have YouTube. Dude, I'd be in jail.
Yo,
Dude, Mark Hoppus, I was reading an interview with GQ with Mark Hoppus recently where he's talking about, he's like, yeah, if I filmed like, he's like, everything we did was illegal.
Yeah.
he's like, we'd have like interviews where we like, Tom would jump up and turn off the lights, and we knew like immediately that meant like this is what he implies. He doesn't say it in his words, but it's implied that like when the lights came back on, they're all naked.
Yeah, I mean,
and, like,
Yeah, that shit, yeah.
that's a great fucking move.
Yeah.
But you're going to goddamn jail if you do it now.
My classic, the classics when I think of like being like 11, 12 was going to the mall and we put gelatin in the janitor's bucket. That was like a big one for us. That kind of shit.
I just love the thought of like, you know, you call someone on like their house phone. It's like, yo, what's up, Ryan? What do you want to do, man? You want to go to the mall and put gelatin in the janitor's bucket? It's like, yeah, see you there.
Get after
Mom,
some
can you
shit.
drive me to the mall? You know, like, and it's just like another day at the office is what we do. And the the janitor wakes up and he's probably like, I'm probably gonna put gelatin in this fucking thing again today, aren't they? And then when it happens, they're like, curses, they did it again.
We had a teacher that every day when she was in class, we took turns going and yelling her name was Miss Lion, and we took turns going to her thing once a day, and someone go, Lion! And there was no payoff. It was just once a day, someone had in the crew had to go and yell this into the class. And then, that's it. It was just that. End of the bit. No payoff. Did it for 2 years.
I heard you on, I think it was Sickler's podcast, talking about when you pretended to be retarded for the substitute.
Oh,
but then she ended up staying for like longer, so he was like, "Fuck, I gotta keep this
used
up now."
it's French class where French class I had some of my best bits. French class was where I really fucking
did your good work.
Yeah, that was my hate material. I think that might have been one of my best ones of all time was when we changed her DVD that taught you stuff with a porno. So then she put, or not DVD, VHS. So she put the porno in and then we all go, oh, Miss Feldman, you pervert.
Yo, so that's what we used to do. We used to do we would pretend that in the library, we would pretend the computers were frozen. But what we would have done was we had photoshopped the background, the desktop image, but it was like, so the desktop, we made the main picture Lemon Party. But then
naturally, we know that's where this is going.
But then we made all the icons, like they were also pictures, so you couldn't click on them. So you couldn't click on anything.
You thought it was desktop, but it was just a picture.
Yeah. And so
that's good shit.
And the computer's not working. And then we'd get the librarian to come, and the librarian would move the mouse and immediately pop up, and we'd be like, "What the hell?" And then they'd be frantically trying to click out. That's
good stuff. That is good stuff.
That one
was Lemon Party was just easy peasy. You change their homepage and you go, oh, but that's next level. Yeah. With the picture and everything.
Couldn't click anything. I don't know how to do it. Like, my friend was one who would do it, but we'd get it together. And then the other one we'd do is we'd go to the library early in the day. And because phones weren't as essential as they are now. Yeah. So we'd be like, look, I'm just not gonna have my phone today, and we just tape it under chairs. And then later, during lunch break, because the libraries where we hung out in our school, and we'd go into another room and then just call our own phones. And then the librarian would start screaming at people, and they'd be like, it's not my phone. Yeah.
It's just fun to wreak havoc on unsuspecting people.
The best.
Can you imagine that somewhere out there's a dude who made lemonparty.org or whatever and was just
he's probably in a bar right now telling some dudes about it. But can I get a free one on the house?
Yeah, before I knew what monetization was.
You know who I am?
The most visited site on the internet.
Do you remember
Lemon Party than Google?
I was thinking that it would be funny, the guy who invented the first when you nutted but she's still sucking meme.
Yes. The people who fucking come up with those ones that last forever and they're like, that was me. That's fucking incredible. That's a good one. We could just start lying about that stuff.
Yeah, I'm the guy who created
the guy.
It is also crazy when you think about the internet and how many graveyards essentially there are, where because no one's still going to Lemon Party, not to the extent. I mean, we go to Lemon Party 10 times a day.
Absolutely,
it was just
was a
constantly getting someone to go to Lemon Party.
When I was in college,
all
that shit. When I was in college, you walk down the hallway of your dorm and you're hearing Meat Spin play. You spin me right. It's yep, somebody got. But Goatee and Tub Girl and all that.
It's all still hosted on a server somewhere, but no one's really going anymore. It's there. But
we need to revive that, man. We need to have the new kids. I want to just explain it to some TikTok kids who would be like, so the joke was just you open up the computer and there was a bunch of old Asian men sucking each other's dicks. Yeah, man, that's the joke.
Sick, right?
But all right, go fucking do the Renegade or whatever. We were funny, okay, man? It was just old men sucking it. What was Lemon Party supposed to be for?
There's still some throwback dudes. You'll see the fucking new kids throwing back to just walk into a store and fall into the stuff era.
Yeah. Just good old. Well,
good old fashioned.
What really hit a couple years ago was people just throwing the gallons of milk in the air. They were just we're gonna throw milk in the air and have it explode, and then you've got to clean it up. I would absolutely beat the shit out of some kid if he did that.
Oh, we used to fucking get beat up quite a bit. I remember
that was also back when you could get a security guard or someone could probably rough you up and not get fucking sued. Right now it's all right, nobody can touch anybody or do anything. That's you put gelatin in my thing, I'm gonna whack you with my broom.
Once a week or for a little, or I don't know how often, but there was this one span that we had where we were frequenting this Greek restaurant that we used to blow bubbles into, and then one time the dude just came and beat the shit out of all of us, and we were 13.
I was in 8th grade, we
and the cops were and the cops basically came down and this and that, and it was a whole thing, and the cops were basically you guys are a piece of shit. They sided with the guy, and it kind of that was the end of it.
Yeah. We were egging houses in 8th grade, and this guy came running out of his house, and he grabbed my one friend and he did a back fist, punched my other friend in the face, and he dragged my one friend into his basement, brought him back to his house. So we were 8th grade.
That's a nightmare.
And we were petrified, and we ran. There was cops driving around because it was Halloween night or mischief night, so there's cops kind of patrolling. So we ran and got one. We were this guy just kidnapped our friend, and they went and got him, but they were kind of like on.
He had him spinning on a fucking.
They were like on
darts in
both
his
sides.
hand.
They were kind of like, so what are you guys dressed up as? Because we were all in like black hoodies and black pants, running around vandalizing shit. You're like, so what have you guys been up to? And we were like, just trick or treating. And they're like, you fucking assholes.
Yeah,
But then we
they
heard
know.
the cop in the other room with the other guy being like, so you like beating up on 13-year-old kids and taking them back to your house, huh? But I was like, this is
That's
like,
bananas.
It was
That's
a
also
wild
crazy. That
one.
just like, I feel like you should get charged with more of a crime.
For us or him?
Him.
Yeah,
You
I know.
fucking
He
drag a
punched
kid
the
into your
I know.
basement?
We also like busted my friend's balls, being like, why don't you're so slow, dude. Why don't you run away? Like all of us got away. You're the slowest of the bunch. That's what happens. You get kidnapped, dude.
Fuck.
He said he tried to run and he ran. We had a friend named Animal. His nickname was Animal. And so you can imagine, and he was
Animal.
like slow. And so my buddy said he turned to run and he just like ran into Animal, and that's why the guy was able to collar him.
Collar him.
Yeah. But it was just like there's something pure about that. Just fucking shit up and being an asshole to people.
It was the best, and
But
just
now when I
not
watch
caring.
prank videos and shit, I'm like, you guys are assholes. But I'm like,
When you watch what videos?
Like prank videos and shit like that on the internet now.
Most
like,
prank videos stink.
yeah,
it's
but,
hard to do.
But they are just as stupid as like the dumb shit we were doing.
No, but
there was some more humor. to
No,
it,
I'll
but at
see
end
the
of
odd
day-
thing that I still like. Most people suck at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
You had to really love the game to go buy a camera just to make these videos to show to your friends.
for your
You had to be
yeah.
a student of the game.
Yeah, now it's
Nowadays,
so
that-
immediate, But like the big like I'm gonna go
The
to
worst prank is they whispering in their ear the sex noises. Like they go do that. And it's just like this is just fucking the least effort you guys can.
or the hood. Like I'm gonna go to the hood and step on people's shoes. It's like you're just gonna get beat up, dude.
That was you're right. That was an era where guys were like, "We're gonna go spit on black dudes."
Yeah, like very like not subtly racist video. Like that was a whole like you said era. Like that was a whole genre.
The era of
Find
like
poor
going-
people and make their day even worse.
going to the hood,
but
and
also they
playing.
would
Yeah.
get beat up.
Yeah. No, those guys were not fucking
That's
around.
what they yell. It's a kid. It's a prank. It's a camera. It's a camera. Like,
We don't care.
How is that a prank, bro? You just stepped on my. Like I'll
Yeah.
fucking kill
the
you.
camera doesn't make up for the fact that you just ruined my $120 pair of shoes.
Right.
You fucking
Yeah,
asshole.
yeah. This one we call N-word at the basketball game. But also, like, yeah, the pay, there was no payoff. I was actually thinking about this yesterday with me and I think Danny were talking about this because someone was talking about the videos I do and they were kind of saying like, oh, it reminds me of like these, like Nathan For You and some of that
Yeah,
stuff. And it was
yeah,
like,
of
I
course.
was like, well, yeah, that's because we're all Canadian and that's how we do fucking stuff. The same way that like Canadian humor and British humor, like Ali G, it's always like the person on camera doesn't really know what the bit is.
Yeah.
Whereas if you think of like Billy on the Street, Eric Andre, like a lot of the American versions, there's no there's no like you're still fucking getting a reaction out of them, but there's no confusion as to what's happening.
Right.
Like he's
Okay.
like, oh, I'm a guy in your face with a microphone doing this
Right,
thing,
right,
and
right,
that is actually what's happening.
Yes,
Whereas
yes.
I feel like Canadian and British humor is way more like you're sort of
You're
like
in it and-
they don't know what they're in.
Right.
And I feel like
Which
that's
is why
the
I
big.
think that's like better.
I
right?
think
That's like
it's better. I think
yeah,
that
yeah.
Canadians and it's just Canadians and British people I think are better. Like, and if you look at the most famous ones of all time, they're not American.
Most famous like pranks.
No,
Or street on the streets?
like men on the street,
Men on the
like
street,
bugging,
yeah.
messing with people, kind of
Right,
thing.
because when they don't know is when it's the best.
I think so. I think
feel
it's
like
just
unsuspecting
it's that like
is-
like awkward humor, right? Where it's like America's just like in your face. But
Yeah,
it's better for
yeah,
some
yeah.
other type
Right,
of stuff.
right.
I think Jackass, like the Jackass style humor, I think Americans better because it is all about like fucking the friends and it's all about there's no like housing around this thing. Like the thing is what it is. We're gonna put a fish hook in our mouth and go in the thing. Like Americans, I think we're the best at doing like kind of frat jackass kind of
yeah.
broy shit, which I
Right,
fucking
right.
loved.
Right,
but I think
right.
the like the bugging people on the street has like a more subtle art.
What's
form.
what's the one we love? I think you should be here. Is that what it's called?
What's that? I think you should leave.
I think you should leave.
But
yeah.
that's sketch comedy.
Yeah,
that's
well,
good.
but like when he's when he's in the mall just walking around being like, I shouldn't be here.
But-
there's people around who are not.
I think they're in on it.
Everybody in that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
would
that
guess
was
everyone
more. I thought
on
there were
that.
people like
That
looking around
is
being like,
that is the best sketch I've seen in a long time. But yeah, I think everyone in that's on it.
the Jackass. I think Jackass the whatever they're calling it is coming out in February, right? Like,
Yeah.
like the Jackass Forever.
Yeah.
That is gonna be something.
bunch of gray hair guys? Like,
I will be at the theater like opening night.
Yeah.
That,
I'll do that, yeah.
that doesn't. I don't do that for Star Wars or Marvel or whatever. I'm going opening night.
That'd be a
to
good like
Jackass.
20-person rip. You know what I mean? Drunk in the theater.
Yeah, like that is gonna be. I'll probably shed some tears at the end of that, man. I really genuinely believe Jackass is up there for the funniest
'cause it was so
thing
good.
that's ever happened. Yeah, it was amazing. Encore. But no, I mean it's the. I heard Bam actually is now in it.
Really?
He's back.
I heard.
Oh, I didn't
somebody
know.
told
Shout out
me
to the
that
kid.
I mean, I don't think he. Maybe they did the whole movie already, so maybe they added something in. But I feel like he is gonna.
That
be
was
part
a
of it somehow.
bummer. That whole thing.
Yeah,
That they
that
were gonna
sucks.
let
So
him
if there
in it.
is some sort of like ending with him, it would be. I will probably be emotional about that, which is hilarious to think. But to me, that was. And if you didn't grow up in that era, you probably don't know it or think it or agree. But like, man, that was shopping carts when they first did that. It was just.
That's a perfect
I
example.
never
of,
laughed harder.
they're like amazing at doing like a bit where there isn't more to it. Like
Yeah,
Johnny
just like,
Knoxville
I'm
would do
gonna
like, hey,
smash you with the-
or I have balls like hanging out. But it's
Yeah.
like there wasn't any awkward situation more than just like, huh?
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah,
This is fucking weird.
There wasn't more
yeah.
to it.
Yeah. No, it's like I'm gonna like smash this pumpkin on this guy's head. It was funny. It
was the
fucking
best.
funny. It was. It was great. It was
Yeah,
fucking great, man.
The waking up your parents era. That was a
Yeah,
good
we're just
one.
gonna torture fat guys. You know, like awesome, man.
I got into the waking up my parents era for a while. Yeah.
Were your parents just fucking like? Did they just dread
My
you?
parents were divorced at the time, and I had a couple of like. I think my mom wasn't. Yeah, pretty stoked about it, but well, I wasn't actually waking them up, but I was doing things. I was forcing her to be a part of my things on camera.
Not stoked is a good way to put it. Like, I fucking hate this kid
Yeah,
so
you
much.
love it. That was the genre, though. If you wanted to be a fucking bugging people on
it.
the street guy back then, your mom's also a bugging people on the street guy now.
Sorry, Mom. You're the guinea pig on this shit now. I got to express myself.
It really was like I can't think of anyone from back in the day that like a big part of their show wasn't like
Not their mom.
throwing pies in their dad's face.
Especially the dads too. It's like dads had so little patience to begin with anyway. Like I gotta pay this mortgage and fucking keep this house up, and you just hit me in the face with a pie.
I think in
great.
some weird way, some parents like are just like, okay, this is probably more productive than like him just getting suspended constantly.
Right. This is not just like
I'll
doing
wear
drugs on the
it.
street. Yeah. Come home
So,
and fucking.
so the loser in his class doesn't have to deal with it. I will.
Yeah. At least he's not shooting up the school. Whatever, man. Oh man, I love it. All right, let's go next door. We're gonna do another answer the internet. You down?
All right, hell yeah.
Cool.
All right, thanks for having me on, boys.
Thank you, brother.
We're at 94,000 subscribers on KFC Radio, the YouTube channel. I need to have it hit 6 figures. I need 100,000 for 2022. Let's make it happen. When we hit 100K, we'll give you all sorts of content. We're going to deliver on everything we've been promising. So please just subscribe. All you got to do is log in with your Gmail, click subscribe. Whether or not you actually even use YouTube doesn't fucking matter. All it does is help us. So take your Gmail, log in, click subscribe, and help us out.